Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. Brad Rea comes from out of the shadows, 27 years of age, new weight division, has moved up from middleweight to light heavy. He becomes the EBU, that's the proper European champion at light heavyweight, by winning a very, very close but unanimous decision over Shakan Pitters. Now, I had it 115, 113 for Rea. That one of the judges had it the same. The other two judges had it 115, 114. And that reflected the fight because this was a very, very close fight, highly competitive. Neither man really did anything wrong. And I'm kind of glad that this was so close because it is the type of fight that warrants a rematch. And sometimes you get, stupid scorecards and people forget just how close the fight was. You look at these scorecards. It reflects what a highly competitive, high-octane, up-close and personal fight it was. Now, Rea, when he was in his early 20s, he was being groomed as, potential, certainly a British champion, maybe someone who'd go further. And he had some decent wins on the way up, like Jez Smith. He did Lee Cutler in a round. And then he ran into Tyler Denny. This was down at 160. And Denny outpointed him, unanimous decision over 10, and that was for the English middleweight title. And then that was a back end of 2022, end of 2022. And then Brad seemed to sort of almost disappear, and he just fought a load of journeymen. He had about 7 fights maybe against journeymen, 6, 7 fights. And this shot against Pitters for the European title came when the title became vacant. Pitters was scheduled to face the then champion. That was cancelled a couple of times. The champ was stripped. De Los Santos was the champ. Pitters was therefore matched with Brad Rea, who seemed to sort of come out of nowhere. New weight division. Did he earn the shot at the EBU title? Really? But I'll tell you what he did in the ring. He definitely did in the ring. Now, he's not a short guy for the weight, Brad Rea. Jumps up, 15 pounds, but there ain't a lot of fat on him. I mean, he said afterwards, this is my weight division now. I'm absolutely fine. And at 27, I suppose, he's a bigger lad than he was when he was in his early 20s. You fill out naturally, of course. But he was in against Pitters, who is 8 years older than him. He's 35 years old now, Pitters. Pitters is 6'6". He's got these extremely long dimensions. He came in with 20 wins with only 7 KOs. Probably hits a little bit harder than that suggests. He had 2 defeats. One of them was a 9th round knockout to Craig Richards when he lost his British light heavyweight title. He also held the English title before that. So he was doing well on the domestic circuit. And then he got another shot at the British title against Dan Aziz. That was about 2.5, 3 years ago, pushing 3 years maybe. He lost a unanimous decision, and Aziz clearly won that fight. But then he came back, had a reasonable win over Joel McIntyre, who perhaps had seen better days, but decent enough fighter. And there has been a little bit of inactivity. He didn't fight at all in 2024. He had a little 6-round run around, which he won in the second round earlier this year when the EBU title shot was cancelled. I think actually the fight between Pitters and Rea was also cancelled on one occasion. So this EBU belt has been just sort of, drumming its fingers on the table, waiting to be picked up. And does anyone want to fight for me? That sort of thing. But Pitters, Pitters, a little bit of inactivity there. But you would think, long dimensions, very, very tall, long arms, spindly legs, has fought at light heavy for his entire career. Brad Rea has been active, but only against journeymen. Really a 160-pounder, probably no bigger than a 168-pounder now. I was thinking Pitters could do it. He could win this fight. I was thinking, I wasn't sure, and I did think it would be competitive. I didn't think it would be quite this competitive. But to start with, it was intriguing because Rea came out and he seemed to be the one with the heavier hands, even at the higher weight. He's only got 10 KOs in 21 wins now. But physically, he looked strong. He was able to get in close on Pitters. But he was fighting at quite a high rate. And Pitters, you got the feeling, was maybe trying to pace himself a bit. Maybe the inactivity had him thinking 36 minutes in a grueling fight. Could I do that? But so the first 3-4 rounds, I thought Rea was winning the rounds. But then from about the fourth, fifth, sixth onwards, Pitters was he came back into it, and he came back into it with some excellent body punching. And despite his height and the long levers and everything, he fights up close. He's actually not a bad infighter. There are times when he'll sort of drape his arms over the opponent, but there were some lovely hooks, really lovely hooks going in there to the body from Pitters, and that seemed to sap Rea, who suddenly wasn't quite as industrious as he had been in the past. It was more a case of he was loading up more with one punch, and you were thinking, I wonder if he's puffed himself out a little bit here. But he went with it. He hung tough and he went with it, and he did okay. He was. I think he kind of got a second wind. By about the 8th, 9th round, I think Rea got a second wind. Again, Pitters wasn't really doing anything wrong. Well, neither of them was. They were just the skill level was high, the technical stuff was high. They both decided they were going to have a little phone booth war. Bit of a strange choice from Pitters, but again with the long arms. But he has fought like that before. He came a cropper against Craig Richards, who's a much shorter man. I mean, at 6'6", but you're not going to find many light heavyweights who are Pitters' height. But I mean, it was up close, and Rea did look like he was hurting. Hurting's perhaps an exaggeration, but he was stinging. He's called Sting Rea. That's his nickname, Brad Sting Rea. He was stinging Pitters a bit more than Pitters was clipping him, but very close, very, very close fight. I think I had it 115, 113. So if you'd said to me that fight's a draw, I'd have gone, okay, yeah, no problem. If you're giving it to Pitters by a round, all right, yeah, I can sort of see it. But I am kind of glad that Rea did get the verdict, because I felt that he was just slightly better. The weight of punch, the effect of the punches he was throwing, gave him that very slight edge over an incredibly game Pitters. And now, of course, Rea, as he said in the post-fight interview, he said, "I've got a target on my back now. I'm the EBU champ." So whereas he was previously frozen out, now he's absolutely in the shop window, and a lot of people are going to want to fight him because he is this sort of unfashionable, unfancied fighter who can really fight. If he didn't have a belt, it's a case of high risk, low reward. Now he's got the belt, people are going to have to fight him. But they spoke to Izzy Azif, the promoter, and Rea said, "Look, I'm happy to give Pitters a return, but it's got to be in Manchester." I think Rea's from Stretford, that region anyway. And Pitters, he's going to be disappointed. This is his third defeat in his career. But at 35, he didn't look anything like a shot fighter. Certainly not. He hasn't got that many miles on the clock. He's quite a well-preserved 35-year-old. So if he wants to carry on and, have another go at the British title, maybe work his way back up. What about the Commonwealth light heavyweight title? Pick that up. Yeah, why not? I think he's got plenty left to give if he wants to give it. But yeah, I mean, it's a good fight. Very, very good. Very entertaining fight. Let me know what you think. You leave your comments below. And if you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button. And also, subscribe if you're new. Come on, join us. Join the channel. Hit the subscription button. It's free. It costs you nothing. It takes a second. And I will read your comments as well. Thank you very much for your time and your support as always. And bye for now.